Hello, 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 hello. Hey. Come on in here to Ask Alma because I got something to tell y'all. Come on in here. How y'all doing? Welcome to another episode of Ask Alma. It's Tuesday. It's 7 o'clock. I know you could be at Whole Foods or still at your desk at home working, but you have logged on to hang out with us, and we are so appreciative. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me know you're here so I can say hello because tonight is going to be a lot of fun. Mary Lou, girl, I know I should have took my locks down, right? Okay, give me one more week with the turban. One more week. Although you knew when you put my hair up, it was going to be a minute. I know you knew that. So I don't even really think you all that surprised. Everybody else might be surprised, but I don't think you all that surprised, girl. How you doing? How are you? Diva. Got my turban thing on. Yeah. Okay. Tonight is going to be so much fun. Remember last week? Hi, Sharon. How are you, girl? I'm so glad to see you. Last week we had the mother-daughter duo. That was a lot of fun too. Like Mama Leah felt one way and daughter Kimmy felt another way, which was pretty cool. And I would say probably right on track. Hi Danielle. For most mothers and daughters. Pat, you have had a day, Pat Walk Up. How are you? I'm so glad that you joined us. On tonight's show, we have a couples show. Hi, Michelle. Hello. We have a fantastic couple. As a matter of fact, they are one of my favorite couples. So we have invited them to be on the show and help us answer some questions this evening. So I am so glad you guys are with us. And let's bring in the panel and see how they're doing. Come on in here, panel. Hey!
Hi, guys.
They are so coupled, you guys. They are so coupled. They're in the same screen. And you know, they get along. That's when you really get along, okay? But I am happy about that because we are showing that example this evening. How are you guys, Angela and Galvin?
Oh, we're doing great. Hi, Auntie. Hi, Miss
Good.
Hey, ladies.
Hey.
Beautiful day in the Pacific Northwest. Yes.
Is it really nice?
Right
because
now.
right now.
It was raining 5 minutes ago, but we got some sun right now.
So it rains, then it stops. Then it rains, then it stops.
Mm-hmm.
You know why I think I know what's going on out there? As opposed to visiting you guys when I visit. I think I know everything because I watch Grey's Anatomy.
Okay.
And
we fell off about 10 seasons ago.
Right.
I was so late with that. Okay, I just started watching at the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So, it took a long time.
So you have a year's worth of viewing.
Yes.
What is it on season 18, 19?
I was glued. It's season 18. I was just
Yes.
glued. And honestly, it gave me some stability because it was just there and it went on Netflix. Yeah. It went on and on and on, and I was all in. It
always stressed me that the doctors was always in the beds.
well,
patients were always waiting for a doctor or a nurse to show up, and the doctors and the nurses was always in a closet or in a bed. I was like, you know what? I don't want my doctors.
I ain't telling nobody's secrets, but I heard that's how it is.
Were they sleeping or doing something else?
All kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff.
All kinds of,
All I'm saying is I know a couple of nurses and a few doctors, and from what I hear, hi, Rosie. That's my sister-in-law.
Hi, Mom.
Thank you for picking up your grandson. We really appreciate your help.
And hello to Tobias. Yay.
Yeah.
Gail's joined us, Alma.
Hi, Gail. How you doing, cuz?
An involved grandparent is a blessing.
Yes,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes. And
we don't know what we would do without
Oh, yes,
Listen.
Our
absolutely.
grandparents. Yes.
Yes, yes. I am a very involved grandmother. And I appreciate that my daughter-in-law, because I try to follow the rules, I try.
You got some rules. You got some rules. Yeah.
I try. I do. My intentions are very good. And I love that Michelle was like, it's fine. Because you know me. There's Miss
Hey,
Barbara.
Barbara.
Hi, Barbara.
Yes,
Miss
yes.
Wood. Barbara Wood.
She's a
Dennison.
grandma too. She's a fabulous grandmother.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. It looks like quite a number of fabulous grandmothers are
I
on
think
here.
the only disagreement I had with my mother was after my son was born, and we were in a store, and I was arguing with her about spending money, and she was like, "Are you trying to tell me to spend my money?"
Oh,
I was
my
like,
grandma.
"No, ma'am.
Oh, my
I left it
grandma.
alone." He had some things that she would have never, ever, like $60 blankets. I was like, $60
For the grandkids.
I would have had to have an entire summer wardrobe for $60. He had one blanket. That was it. The blanket, baseball caps, the cost board, and my shoes. I was like, I just gave up on it and let her do a thing.
I thought it was funny because I would tell Josh, and Angela knows this, don't touch my walls. Like, that was a big thing for me. I don't want fingerprints and handprints all over my walls. And I can remember Ava, as sweet as she could be, around 2, running by and touch the wall. Josh goes, "Oh, no, baby, don't touch grandma's walls." I go, leave my grandbaby alone.
She can do whatever
Touch
she
whatever she wants.
She could climb up the wall, climb down the wall.
Fine,
Tell
it's
her
fine.
your walls, Auntie?
No, she's been a good girl. She's like Tobias. She's very good. And I absolutely love that those two little cousins play together
Yes.
online. It's
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
It is absolutely amazing.
Technology is amazing.
Yes.
Technology. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. And she
For
tries
hours,
to
though.
yes, and she loves it. She explains to me who he is as if I don't know him. Which is hilarious. It's like, yeah. Before we get started, I want to do 2 things. I want to give a what did Cheryl say?
The walls are
Monica?
the devil, and they're not to touch them.
Unless I'm over at your house, Cheryl, then I am going to touch the walls with them. But anyway, let's give a shout out. Happy birthday to Miss Hazel. Hi, Miss Hazel.
Happy birthday, Miss Hazel.
No, Miss Helen, not Miss Hazel. Miss Helen. I don't have
Miss
my glasses
Helen,
on.
happy birthday.
Yeah, it's Miss Helen.
Yes.
Happy birthday. I think she turned 80.
80.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Miss
Yes.
Helen turned 80 years young. Happy birthday.
Happy
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss Helen. Happy birthday to you.
Yay!
We needed him on the show a couple of weeks ago.
I've had mine. He sang happy birthday to me at my birthday. Oh, yeah. Yes. It was
I'll have to schedule. I'll have to book for next year, I guess.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So Miss Helen is the mother of our producer. Who remains anonymous because he wants to be anonymous and because he probably don't want to have any association with me.
Come on now, Donnie. Come on now, Donnie. Hallelujah.
Bravo. Yes.
I sound like I need to be in the church, huh?
In the church and like with your own, do they call them CDs now? With your own CD?
Yep. I mean,
with your own.
No, they don't call CDs no more. But
what they call them now?
EPs. I think they're EPs because you just put them on. You just put them online now.
Yeah. See, I don't know anything about that, but I need to learn. Okay, our disclaimer is that none of us are doctors. This is an entertainment show, and we're going to play a couple of questions for you. And then these are questions that were sent in to Ask Alma, and I share them with the panel, and we give you the best advice that we can offer. Common sense advice. Okay. Usually because we have had some experiences and we trying to save you from going down the same road, although it happens. You know what I mean, D? Like I've talked to you about
Yes.
some things. You talked to me about some things over our hi Esther.
Hey,
Hey, Sissy Poo.
hey, Sissy Poo.
Over what our 30 plus years,
I think it's
35 plus
36
years,
now. I
36 years.
think. Yeah, something
And
like
I
that.
mean, you know, I listened to probably 2 out of the 2,000 offers of advice that you shared. But you know, sometimes you got to go through a little bit of it on your own to kind of learn from it. And now it's kind of different because I don't see you as much. I don't
Right.
talk to you as much. And oh my gosh, on these Tuesdays, it's like, oh, Dee
Yes.
Dee, how are you? So how are you? Because we used to talk all the time, and
I
now
know
you are
it's been a challenging couple of weeks. I had, after 50, there's some numbers you need to pay attention to. And
55.
it's shoot.
Sorry.
After 50, there's some numbers you need to pay attention to. So mine have been acting up. So I almost laid on the couch today, but I said nope.
Oh
I'm gonna
my.
get up because I don't see you. So I said
I
I'm gonna get
know.
up. I can do 45 minutes with my bestie. So here I
Yes.
am.
I'm so
Thank
glad.
you.
I'm so
And
glad you pressed your way.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Yes, we are.
As soon as we're done, I will put on the
Yes.
pajama top that matches the bottom and do what the doctor said. So, but I'm super happy to be here, of course, with you and
Thank
with the
you.
Malloys, who I
With the
haven't
Malloys.
seen. Haven't, well, I haven't seen Angela in ages, and I don't know Galvin. Hopefully, one day we'll get back to normal. Maybe we could fly to the Pacific Northwest and hang out.
You know it. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that would be so much fun.
Yes, it
So
would be.
before we show the first video, I wanted to ask you guys, okay.
Thank you, Mary Lou. Oh,
Um,
don't forget, the readers are not the people who submitted the questions.
no, we use VVRs,
Yes.
volunteer video readers. They read the questions because we really don't want you reading your stuff on the show. Like, I'm not trying to start stuff with your family. And this will not be the place that
Right.
you reveal all of that. No, we're not that kind of show. Like, you know, I like it be a little bit classy.
That's like a Maury.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was the other one?
Yeah.
Maury.
Maury and
Jerry
Springer.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not that ratchet.
No.
And you know what? That's just the way it is. Because I might be a sprinkle of ratchet, but
Okay,
I'm going to
we
try
need a
to.
little bit.
Yeah, we need a look right.
Ratchetness brings on ratings.
It does,
Yes.
but I'm going to be like ratchet class
Yeah,
ratchet.
yeah. Ratchet.
Clatchet.
Clatchet. We gotta make
I'm a
it
little
sound
bit classy. I'm a little bit clatchet.
You're a little savage sometimes.
I like that. Yes. No, not Wendy. No.
No.
What goes around comes around. That's all I'm saying, Wendy, and we hope you get better.
She said get on her show for the ratchetness.
You know what? We went to the Wendy show the day after she passed out. And they talked to us, Entertainment Tonight talked to us outside afterwards. I was like, Wendy needs a hamburger. Okay, she heartbroken, she ain't eating. So we went to this whole thing. And then not Chrissy Teigen, but the model, she came out. And they dropped us. And they ran over to talk to her. We was like, really? Weren't we talking to y'all? Like, giving y'all the dirt. And now, like, I
Ratings.
think Christy something. Anyway, I could understand it. So I want to ask you guys a question before we play the 2 videos we have for today.
Okay.
Because since we have couples on the show. Since
we're not the first?
The
No.
first in the same screen. We've had other
Yes.
couples.
You're not the first couple now.
Some couples that we didn't tell was couples.
We had
did tell
Vanessa and Darren Snyder on the screen, and they're about to celebrate their 31st wedding anniversary.
That's right. Yes.
Wow.
That's so sweet. And they will be back too. They're coming back next month. So I read this and it cracked me up. And I'll tell you guys what I was thinking at the end, but I'm curious. I want to know. Here's the question. VVR, me. So, what would you do if you walked in the bathroom and your partner was using your toothbrush? Not because they didn't have one, but because they had just randomly picked up yours to use. So the question is, which I'm sure a bunch of y'all saw on Facebook, would you use your partner's toothbrush? And before y'all get going, Malloys, let's start with Dee Dee on that one. Dee Dee, would you use your partner's toothbrush?
Intentionally?
Yeah.
No, not intentionally.
And what if you saw him using yours?
I would just get out a new one. I keep boxes of toothbrushes. So I was like, oh baby, you used my toothbrush by accident. You can keep that.
Okay.
And I would just get another one. I would not make a big deal about it. It's it's a toothbrush. And quite frankly, I don't even want to get into the potential for you to be sharing things as a married couple. So the toothbrush is the least of your issues with that kind of sharing. So I would not make a big deal about it. I would just pull out another toothbrush.
Okay. So Auntie, how do you say this lady's name with the D? DeSheryl. Yeah, she's very violent.
She's a comedian. She is a comedian. She's funny.
Okay.
So Malloys, what would you guys do if you walked in and saw the other one using your toothbrush? Are you okay as a couple using each other's toothbrush, or what do you think about that?
I'm gonna go first. Because I think that has happened unintentionally in our house. Yeah, you. Because they look the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with Dee. It's not a big deal. You just move on. If it's the electric toothbrush, just change the brush head. They sell them at Costco in like an 8-10 pack. It's fine. We don't need to fight over it. But intentionally, I would not use his toothbrush.
Now, if he was cleaning his sneakers with it, then I would have an issue with that. But and then putting it back, I would have an issue with that. But
Yeah.
Really? I've been married for 25 years. You guys know that. We accidentally forgot our 25th wedding anniversary. And I'm still thinking of something for us to do.
You got to do it before the 26th.
We do. Well, we moved, so that was the thing. I think
that was the present.
Yeah. Since we moved, that was like, what is today? But I don't want to use his toothbrush, and I don't really want him to use mine either. Although we were on vacation one time, and I don't know what I did with my toothbrush, and it was when we were getting ready to fly back home, and I really needed to brush my teeth before we left the hotel room. So I sanitized it, and then I used his toothbrush, but then I threw it away and replaced it when we got home. I'm not saying that it is a big deal, but no.
Why are you shaking your head, babe?
Because y'all tripping.
What? Oh my gosh. Really?
What's some little toothbrush cooties? You know what I mean? That's not
exactly.
Exactly.
Cooties. It's the cooties.
You swap. She
We
getting
do.
cooties on me right now.
Yes.
That's my point. Exactly.
Yeah, but I don't want the cooties in between my teeth while I'm flossing.
But like you said, when you were on vacation and you had,
it was
like
one
that, just to be doing it, just to do it. No, if it was on accident.
Yeah.
Just how you say her name?
DeSheryl.
I'm gonna call her D. Okay, I'm sorry. DeSheryl. Come on. It's not that big. It's not that big a deal.
Do you not tongue kiss that person?
Exactly.
Yeah, but not with a toothbrush. Hi, Bessie.
Hi, Bessie.
Hi, Gail. I'm
cool
with you on the toothbrush. I keep
cool.
a spare.
But we established that it's not intentional. If I accidentally scoop up my husband's toothbrush,
you don't need to throw it away.
I start using it, it's his toothbrush. I might go ahead and throw it out, get out a new one, and brush my teeth. I might even give him, leave a new one for him.
No, that's a waste.
I'm not. It's just not going to be a thing that I have to I'm not going to run to the dentist and ask him to, bleach my mouth because I used my husband's children's toothbrush. It's not that serious.
I'm hearing sterilize. What do you say? Sterilizing it.
Hey,
and
hot water.
And all. No,
Said alcohol.
Just do your thing.
What is the deworm where everybody is using now?
You know what? Now what is funny?
Run the hot tap water over it.
Yes. Right.
For 32 seconds, whatever. And we good.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
Yes.
But honestly, what is hilarious is Gill probably would not use my toothbrush because y'all know your uncle is like, he's going to just go buy a new one for both of us and bring it back. So although he probably has 6 in his suitcase just in case something like this happens. But
Sharon said, lost the brush. Get the leftover.
Oh, right.
Small food out of it.
That's good. That's a good point. I thought it was kind of gross. And I'm appreciating that y'all find it not to be that bad. Yeah. Okay.
I've seen this woman give birth.
Right.
You said so. Toothbrush.
They didn't use a toothbrush. They didn't use a toothbrush. That's all I'm saying. We've seen a whole lot of stuff. A whole lot we have seen. Ain't nobody brushing. Okay, that was a good one. I read that. I don't know if you guys saw it online, but I thought it's funny. And the comments went, they were across the board both ways.
I'm sure there are a couple share toothbrushes. That isn't. I'm sure that's a thing. I don't want to do that. But if it's unintentional,
thank you, Valerie. Yeah.
For her throw up face, for her throw up face,
right?
3 times.
3 times throw up face.
Not once, not twice.
Mr. Yuck Sticker.
3 times. Okay.
And Dee Dee says she don't even tongue kiss. I saw that. Dee Dee.
Okay. Well,
okay, Cheryl. Now, after you brush and floss,
it's time for the question.
Cheryl, you missing something on that one, girl. You might want to try.
Dee Dee from the East Coast. They don't tongue kiss on the East.
That's hilarious. Although I will say, the first time I kissed a boy and he got ready to do that, I was like, "What are you doing? We ain't doing that."
Well, yeah,
you said the first time.
The first time, right?
Not when you in your 30s, Dee.
Right. No, I wasn't 30. I was like 13. So it's a difference between what you do when you're 30 and what you do when you're 13.
Right. Yes,
so anyway.
Time for the question. We're not having this conversation. We're moving beyond this. We're not having this conversation.
Good conversation.
You should try it, Dee Dee.
That's all we saying.
That's all we saying.
Just have a glass of wine and go all in.
That's my tea.
All righty. Okay. Let's see. Question number 1. Or number 2.
I'm Lolly Reinhardt, a proud graduate of my HBCU, Bennett College, and I am a VVR for Ask Alma. Dear Alma, I recently relocated to a new city because of my work. So far, so good. I'm a runner and I found a great park near my apartment. I've noticed a handsome guy who runs at the same time I do. During my cool down and stretching, he has struck up a few conversations. We've laughed and seem to have a few things in common. I'd like to maybe ask him out, but I'm wondering if that's too forward. Again, I'm in a new city and still finding my way. I don't really know anybody, but would like to make friends. Do you think it's a good idea to ask a stranger out to dinner?
Hi, Lolly. Lolly and I went to high school together, and I so appreciate her volunteering to be our video reader this
great
evening.
Job.
Thank you, Lolly. That was great. And she always gives a shout out to HBCUs. Bennett College is where she went to school. And Angela, you were at Morgan State
University. Go Bears.
they are getting a ton of donations. Like they're
Yes.
getting millions.
They're doing
and
really well right now.
They're doing really, really well. Yeah, I spend a little bit more time there than, not so much as when you were there, but I am over there a little bit. So the question, let me recap. This woman just moved to a new area, her job, and she runs, and she has met a guy. They see each other at the same time because they are there at the same time, and they've talked, and she says she thinks they have stuff in common from what they've talked about so far, and so she wants to know, is it a good idea to ask someone out to dinner or not? Just moved to a new city, she doesn't really know anybody, so it's not like you can call your girlfriend and have her be a part of it and all that stuff, because she's by herself. So what do you guys think?
I don't think it's a coincidence that they end up at the same place at the same time. So he is intentionally running when he knows he's going to.
Oh, I don't think that. I don't think that at all.
I do. So I think it's not a coincidence that they end up at the same place at the same time. I think it's perfectly okay for her to ask him out. He can say no, but dinner is a very public place. There's going to be other people there, so she won't be, it's not like she's inviting him over for dinner. I think a public restaurant dinner is fine. And everybody's a stranger until they become your friend or your husband. So, right. Y'all were strangers at one time, right?
Yeah, right.
We all were strangers. So I think that's perfectly okay.
Well, I don't think it's intentional. I think because I watch people out my kitchen window who walk at the same time every day. And the fact that they're passing someone or they get to know somebody, I don't think that they need to reroute themselves.
But do you speak to them?
I'm watching out my window, so they don't even see me. I mean, I'm usually standing there like rinsing out my coffee cup. I'm telling you, it's the same time every day. I think I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to be quiet for a minute and let the Malloys hop in here. But I think women think that. I don't think men think that at all. And I think if a guy leaves his house to run at 7:30 every morning, that's about the extent of his thought. But anyway, Malloys, tell me what y'all think, because Javon and Dee think it's intentional.
I just think that make it intentional. He likes to run. She likes to run. So if she's going to set something up, go ahead and schedule that y'all do some meet up. Make this a little
running
meet up
together
and start leaning into maybe spending some more time. Obviously, they have that in common. They go for their run. They can do their stretching after. And then maybe it'll grow into going to get a smoothie, after that or something. Let's keep it light, daytime. We don't need to dive into dinner.
Already.
Go, but gradually get to know each other.
Yes, over a smoothie.
I'm going to tell you what she went wrong.
Okay.
With all that stretching she doing. Yeah, still men know what's up. When they start doing all them stretches and stuff.
You have to stretch when you run.
Y'all saw higher learning. You remember how he was looking at Tyra Banks and she was on the track field? And stretching.
So she want all the smoke. She want it. If she's stretching out there public, she won't. Yeah.
And he stops to talk to her when she's doing it. But he's not running past her.
The stretching is too much. The stretching is too much.
That's part of
Miss Wilson, you're right.
That's part of the running.
But it says when I start to stretch, that's when he comes and talks to me. That's what it said. So don't stretch.
Stretch before he gets there.
Stretch at home.
And stretch at home. Yeah, that's true.
So okay, she stopped stretching and she's still going out to dinner.
Yeah, go to dinner though. Go to dinner.
Smoothie.
I go to dinner. No,
we all strangers.
That's a deal breaker for me. Don't ask me to go for the smoothie.
Mr. Dad said, go to get some coffee.
Go get something light. Start off light.
Why?
You have to go all in.
Why?
Because what if you're at dinner and things aren't going as well as you thought?
Then you say, this was a lovely dinner. You pick up the tab, you grab your purse, and you go home.
Or put money down for your half.
Don't see him at the park, Miss D, running.
Not necessarily. She can run another time.
So she has to change her time.
She doesn't have to, but if she chooses to, she can. I mean, but I don't understand why we have to, graduate to having a meal, especially at this age.
It sounds like she's interested though.
She doesn't specify how old she is, but like I don't have time. Let's have a smoothie. Let's have coffee. Let's have let's go to the flower store. Let's go. No, let's eat.
Yeah, I say leave it. You can eat during the day, but let's get to know each other because.
Well, that's how we're going to get to know each other, sitting at the table at dinner. So you want us to have lunch? You want lunch over dinner? Is that what you're saying?
It has more like implications behind the dinner. It's evening. It's going to go into night. It's going to go into, can I just come in your place? Like,
no, it doesn't do any of that. We'll meet at the restaurant. We'll have a lovely dinner. We're grown. And then I'm gonna go home because I already know.
I think it's an age thing. I think younger. I think if you're younger, you can do lunch because you got time. But I think you roll up on 60. You want to go to dinner? Because if I like you,
6 o'clock
anyway.
You're mid-stretch. Excuse me, miss. You want to go out to eat? I ain't trying to get no coffee. I'm hungry. Let's go eat.
You can learn so much about somebody sitting at the dinner table. What they order, how they eat. Like I don't want to wait till date six to find out he chews with his mouth open because that's a problem. So I can learn all of this in one meal. And then we can keep it moving. But we're going to take separate cars. We might even pay separate checks. And then we're just going to go on our way.
She thirsty. You right, Sharon. She is thirsty.
So
all that stretching she doing.
So Vosh said when you're 60, you eat dinner at 4 o'clock anyway.
That's what I said. 5, 6 o'clock, you having dinner. It's still light up.
That is hilarious.
Get to know the guy. I mean, like Miss D said, everybody's a stranger until you get to know him. So I don't think she'd be too forward to ask him to go do something.
I like the running. Maybe they can run together.
There you go.
Try a new park together.
Or just
run
there.
Run where they are.
But you can't have a conversation while you're running.
Some people who run can talk to you while they're running. I'm not one of them. I won't be running. So
right, exactly.
I can wait for him until he comes back around. I can sit on the bench and wait for him to make his lap. But I think people.
Try to answer your question before you go away.
Every time he passes by.
But
do you want to?
I think
go out to dinner.
Javon can tell us. Javon is a runner. Yes, you can run and talk. She's done marathons.
Because she's a conditioned runner. She's done marathons. Of course, she can talk while she's running.
It's not like they have to. When they run together, they just kind of trot together. They're not like
they can talk before and
after. Right? Yes.
All right.
So what are we telling her?
Because
she's watching. So. Are we suggesting that yes, she can ask him?
Yes,
I think something should happen.
Yes,
I think she should ask him because, quite frankly, I think he's married. But that's just me. I don't know him. I don't know all of that. But yeah, ask him because he may not be available.
Yeah, he may say no.
Then it's going to be awkward.
It will be.
You won't know if she don't ask.
Or just be her personal
and
trainer.
It doesn't have to be awkward.
Right.
If he's not available, like Miss D said, they grown, right?
Right.
Just straight up and say he's not available. Thank you.
He says, I'm sorry, I'm in a relationship, whatever. The park is big. We can still run past each other. We can still have a conversation. You can still stop while I'm stretching.
Put his ring back on.
and I'd rather him say, no, I'm not available and, put his ring back on or whatever than to not ask.
Wait, how did we get to his ring being off?
Because Alma thinks
he's married. Said that I think he's married. So please email me back and let me know. Go ahead and ask him.
We can't just talk to ladies without y'all thinking we want something.
Right.
You can talk to me without me. You can talk to me without me thinking that you want something.
Exactly.
All right. I'm just making sure we still clear on that.
Right.
We just stretch. We do this every day, and we just talking.
We just stretching.
It don't mean that
We just stretch it.
We just stretch.
Right. We just stretch.
Just running.
We just running.
All right.
So yeah, ask him for a smoothie and then see what happens.
What is it with you in this smoothie?
I like
keep it
smoothies.
healthy. She's
You
a
like
runner.
She's a
smoothies.
runner. I like smoothies.
She may go home and have a beer after she runs. You don't
And a
know.
cigarette.
I know, right? Hell, I used to do that.
But you didn't really run.
I
You
did
just
really
stayed out
run.
all-
No, I actually did run.
How
I
far?
did run. I used to
How
run the
far?
entire Spring Hill Lake complex, which was 2 miles
I remember.
around.
And then had your beer.
Hey, she worked hard
Yes,
for that
and
beer.
and a
And a
cigarette.
cigarette.
Okay, well, hey, it's all good. I Peloton for pancakes, so I mean, you know.
Right. There you
Oh,
go.
I was running, and then we were going straight to what's the place? The place with the
IHOP.
steak and not the IHOP, but the
Oh,
really
Ponderosa?
no worse Waffle House.
Oh.
I used to run.
Worse.
I love the Waffle House.
I used to
I
run.
love
We
the
used to
Waffle House.
run and walk 3 miles with my friend Sherry, and then we would go straight to Waffle House. We were like,
Love
you know,
the
that just
Waffle House.
cancels it out, but we did it every day.
That's awesome.
All righty. So our advice to you, young lady, is to go ahead and ask him. Let us know what happens.
Let us
Good
know what
luck and
happens.
stay safe. Okay. Delphia is our VVR. With our other question of the evening, our VVR is our volunteer video reader. You guys remember, the person reading the question is not the person who sent the question in to ask Alma. So, Delphia, let's hear the third question.
My name is Delphia, and I'm here to read your question for Ask Alma. My husband is mourning his dead mistress. 3 months ago, the woman who was having an affair with my husband died suddenly from an accident. I found out about the affair only 2 days after her funeral. I thought she was simply a co-worker, and I was wondering why my husband was so disturbed and emotional. He quit his job saying it is too traumatic to go to work. She was in the early weeks of pregnancy when she died, and my husband doesn't know whether he or her husband is the father. So on top of everything, he's also grieving for a baby which may or may not be his. I find it extremely difficult to be emotionally supportive when he wakes up at 3 a.m. crying and trembling, yet I don't have the heart to yell at him like I want to. He says she's dead, so there's no reason for me to feel jealous or threatened, and asks for my understanding as he grieves. We've barely talked these last weeks because I don't know how to respond to my husband when he cries and says that he misses her and wishes she were here. Then he also says how much he loves me and that he never intended to leave me. I asked him to visit a marriage therapist together, and he said he's not ready to work on our marriage, but he thinks that he needs to see a grief therapist instead. Do I need to give him time to mourn the loss of this mistress? Or should I demand he focus on our marriage?
Okay,
This
that
video
was
is
a lot.
Bye-bye.
Well, first of all, let me say that 2 people sent that in to ask Alma, and neither one came from a guy, one came from a woman. And the question didn't belong to them. Like, they read it off the internet. So I did think, ooh, well, this might be a good question for Ask Alma to discuss.
I think it's an alibi. The wife made the accident happen, and this is her. Oh, I'm just so sad.
It's a lifetime movie.
Right, it's a lifetime movie.
It's too much.
It is a lot. I feel for women who feel like they have no options. Let me put it like that. Because those would not be the 2 questions that I would be pondering if that had happened to me.
Right.
But it didn't happen to me. Because it probably would be 2 funerals everybody would be going to. Although I'd have to call my Uncle Smitty to help me with that second one, so it wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I I don't even know what
I'm
you
guessing
say
that
to something like
your first
that.
question is, can you bury a body in a
That would be
backyard?
that is the question she should be.
And
How can
how
you
much do
put it
divorce
in the
lawyers
drum and
cost?
pour in the acid stuff?
What you do? You bury the body under what is it?
It's that
Protected
white stuff,
plants.
right?
Yeah.
And the white stuff that
Under the
they
lime and protected plants, so
lime.
no one will
Yes.
ever dig up the trees because they're protected by the Park Service.
Go to Netflix and watch 2 seasons of CSI. That's what I think you should do.
Or Snapped,
Or
or
Snap.
Who the Blank That I Married, or oh, I'm sorry, I digress.
So her questions were, and this is a good question for our lovely couple. Criminal Minds, Miss Barbara. That's right, Criminal
Yes.
Minds. Should she demand that he go to? Well, should she allow him to go to grief counseling, or demand that he goes to marital couples therapy?
Ooh, this is a hard one. You want to go first, or what?
Yeah, what is the male point of view on this, Galvin?
Where do you start?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, so they're married, right?
Yes.
And he's crying over his dead mistress.
And
Yes.
baby.
I mean, why are we still married? I don't understand.
Right? Why are we?
He said he never planned to leave the marriage. He said he planned to stay. He wanted to stay married, and he said he tells her he still loves her.
Would you be cool with that? If I told you, if I would you be cool with that?
Oh no, Auntie would be on a flight.
Would you
She
be?
tried to come
You wouldn't even.
Yes.
You wouldn't even be okay with that. You like no. This is somebody that
We're done.
right. Like Tracy said, option 3: leave his ass and grieve whoever you want to grieve.
Yes,
by yourself.
Right.
But you sound like she might be stuck. Why do you feel like she might be stuck?
Yeah, you say you feel like she has options.
Yeah. Because okay, I get it. I have a friend who is committed to her marriage, and I respect that. I really do. I do, because it is not it would not be the way I would feel about something. But I think like some people who are very, I don't want to say heavy in their faith, because it's almost like I'm dismissing it, but I think there are some people who once they get married, that's it.
Culturally or religiously.
Yeah,
yes.
like husbands and wives do whatever they do and they stay married. Now here's the thing for me, and I've said it to her, so she won't be surprised. If you're gonna stay married, stay married. But you can't stay married and be mad or half-ass about it, or like say, well, I ain't gonna do that because you didn't act right. That doesn't work either. If you in, you in, and if you're out, you're out. Because a lot of times it is associated with sin, especially in a Christian or Catholic. You're talking about what is sinful. And I think it's very clear being in a marriage and not being the best partner you can be in a marriage is sinful.
It's the sin.
It's just like if the husband messes around, you're doing the same sin. So the other thing that my father, Reverend Ulysses Martin, used to say to me all the time when I brought up my excuses of why I did or didn't do something, all sins are the same. There are no big sins, little sins. So don't come up in here and tell me how what you did wasn't as bad as somebody else's. It was just as bad. So I have to agree with that. Being an adult now and reading the Bible and following, a sin is a sin. So it's not like if he did this and then you stay in the marriage, but you do not continue to be the best wife that you can be, it doesn't make his sin worse than yours.
Right.
Because it has to be about forgiveness. And if you forgive somebody, then just like the prayer says, every morning, brand new. So you cannot bring in what he did last week, last month, 2 years ago. it's got to go.
Alma, Pat brought up something that I think we may have missed or forgot, is that he quit his job. So in addition to him lying in bed next to her crying, he's now, she's now financially responsible for him because he's home all day now grieving.
Well, first of all, you can't grieve and work on our marriage. So he would have to pick one or the other.
Right.
Because you can't do both. So either pick one. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you 30 minutes. Say a prayer. I'll be back. I'm going to fix myself a cup of coffee and come back in here because you can't do both, in my opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think?
He's pretty much said which one he wants to do.
He's already doing it.
He wants to grieve. He doesn't want to work on his marriage. So she has to decide if that's going to be good enough for her.
Right.
If she's good, because Kay said it went so quickly. She was like, "Boy, bye." He can talk to my divorce attorney. She's not even considering counseling.
Right.
But she has to decide. He's made his decision.
How do we know this story is real?
This one we do not. But the thing is, what if you are a wife or a husband who will not leave your marriage? So what do you do?
So you need to decide. I agree with you, Auntie. You've got to decide if you're in or you're out.
If you're
and
in or
once you
if
make
you're
that
out.
decision that you're staying in, let's just say for her sake, from what we know so far in the letter, she's staying in.
Right.
Okay. Now that you've decided that you're going to stay in, and let me just add to this too. I do feel like nowadays people get out too soon. People quit. You could sneeze the wrong way and somebody will be out. So, I mean, this example is extreme, but I think people give up too soon and they exit. So if she's going to stay, that she's going to stay in. He's already grieving, like Miss D said. He's made his choice. You don't quit your job and be crying and having a shakes in the middle of the night and you're not grieving. He is grieving, and rightfully so. Now, granted, she didn't know about this relationship, but obviously he had an emotional relationship. He was fully blown in, all in with somebody else, and now they're deceased. So, no doubt, the man is grieving. He's got to deal with that.
Just don't do it up in here in front of me.
Well, again, he's got to make that choice.
Right.
Now, if
that's
he
a good point.
quit his job and you chose to stay, then you're also choosing to support him through this grief process. And I think if this is a true life situation, it's not going to happen overnight. It's probably not going to happen in a year. This is probably going to be an ongoing getting through, getting over it, getting back to hopefully where they were at some point, happy in their marriage. But yeah, he's got to grieve, and then she's going to have to grieve too. The wife. The wife should be, while he's grieving, in my opinion, taking some time to sort some things out on her own.
Yeah.
What else is going on, or what else was going on in your marriage when this was happening?
Because the good point that you made, Angela, is that you said that for them to get back where they were. Well, where they were was him having an affair.
And hopefully before that they were
before that,
they got to take it.
So it may be, it may be a very long way away from when they were a couple that was happy in their space, right?
Which, even if that was the case, then an affair wasn't the answer. But I mean, if you're in, you're in, and if you're out, you're out. Because if you're making that decision because you want to be in a particular place with God, then you have to be all in, not half in and half out.
I feel equally sorry for her husband, because she had a husband, according to the letter. So that poor man.
Yeah. It was almost like that letter. Remember, the woman said the other woman walked in her husband's funeral and leaned down in the casket.
Yes, she was the secretary, wasn't she? Just leaned down in the casket.
Yeah,
was crying louder than everybody in the funeral.
Yeah,
this is a movie. That's a talent.
And I actually know of someone. When I don't know the person, but witnessed that. Yeah, a woman walking into a funeral and
performing, essentially, for sure.
Yeah. I don't think we have any answers for that, but it was good that folks sent it in and wanted us to talk about it, and we have. So, But there's something else that's happening too that I forgot to mention at the beginning of the show. I got a video from a woman that I think is a fabulous video, but it wasn't a question. She was sending a video in to Ask Alma asking about dating. And I don't have the answers for her either. I'm not sure how to roll this into an Ask Alma episode. But I do want to show it on this show because I need to figure some stuff out between now and next week. So I thought I would show it to you guys and share it with our Ask Alma audience and then talk about what we could do with this video. So you guys, are you up for it?
Sure.
Okay, let's take a look.
I could really use. Hi, Alma. This is Angela. And girl, I could really use your help. What I could really use your help with is dating. Things are really different now because, you know, we have social media, online dating, all these different things that are happening now. And, you know, I used to be married. I was married for 16 years and I've been single for about 10. You know, part of that 10 years, well, a good portion of it actually was intentional because when I got divorced, I wanted to focus on my kids and I wanted to get them out of school. I myself even went back and got another degree. So I really felt like that needed my undivided attention. And now everybody's ready to start the next chapter, including me. I am ready to get back out there and kind of meet somebody and really make, you know, some true connection. And, you know, I've tried a couple things. Some friends have introduced me to some people. It just hasn't quite worked out. So that's where you come in. And, you know, what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a guy who, number one, is God-centered. And what I mean by that is I really am involved in my church. I teach Bible study on occasion. I've taken mission trips. I volunteer quite a bit. And it would be nice to have someone to do those things with. And they are as compassionate about that as I am. So that's number one. Plus, I think that's going to make a lot of things fall into place, you know, already. Because I'm kind of a traditional type of girl. So I really want that guy who is opening car doors and, you know, all of those traditional type things with those traditional roles. Also, I want a guy who is compassionate, caring, and not only compassionate for me, but compassionate for themselves. You know, someone who has really good work-life balance, also really take really good care of themselves because, you know, I'm 55 years old and I take no medications. Don't plan on starting that anytime soon. So, you know, I work out, you know, I run, I do a lot of things to try to take care of myself. And I would like to have a partner that feels the same way about that as well. Also, one last thing, Alma, is I need a guy with some height because I'm 5'9", and it would be nice to have someone that is taller than me because, you know, that kind of makes me feel a little feminine, you know. So, Alma, I really can use your help with that. Girl, please help a sister out. Thank you.
That was a sweet video, I thought, from Angela. And she's not the only one.
Miss Angela, that guy doesn't exist.
Galvin, yes.
Now see, I was thinking she wants a unicorn, right? And I didn't want to say that. I was like, okay, there, she can come close. I didn't want to say that. But I think he exists. I think, you know, she's sitting at home. She should run. That other lady didn't have any problem finding somebody.
Running straight.
She needs to run. She needs to stretch. She's doing it all wrong. She needs to stretch.
Do they have a runners club at the church?
Right. Start
Christian
one.
mingle. Like she spends a lot of time on missions and in church. I don't understand why she hasn't been able to find this guy.
He doesn't exist. That's
the
what.
first thing we were thinking. Like, if this guy sounds like he needs to be in the church. Because, she can't. A regular non-Christian kind of guy doesn't sound like he's gonna work.
Right.
It's so many parts of this video that needs to be dissected, I think, and discussed, because she's not the only woman asking this. Like, there are a lot of
places where you can post these kinds of videos and meet people. You just have to, weed through the just like in the 80s when you went to the club, you didn't date every guy that you.
Everything she was describing, I was thinking it was me until she got to the height. She gonna have to take some things off that list. I understand. She got to sacrifice
some things.
The 80-20, right? You can find 8 things you like and 20 things you don't. Take it right.
What if all those things, but he was short? I mean,
right. All those things, but he didn't want to go on mission trips.
Right.
What if all those things and he had a jacked up attitude and treated his mama bad?
Right.
Like, I mean,
or ugly feet, or
or use your toothbrush. Whatever. What if you use your toothbrush? But nah, she's a very beautiful lady. And,
she is.
And I'm sure she will, find somebody, just keep
praying.
That's
her question. How do you?
Miss Angela, keep praying.
Well, right, to her point.
Well, okay.
How do you?
Okay.
One of my friends' mother said, no man is ever gonna knock on your door. So he ain't the UPS man. So if you're not out, you can't meet people. And if she's going on these trips and things, she has to be open to meet those people where she is.
My sister just put something in the chat. That's right. That would be my mentor, Debrina Jackson Gandy, and she's got all the info you need, Miss Angela, on
how to meet somebody. Oh, well, what is her? Does she have a website or
$1,000,000mentor.net?
$1,000,000mentor.net.
Okay, hold on. Let me.
That's Nate's sister. Nate
okay.
Yep.
Nate the comedian.
Nate the comedian, yes.
Okay. And he was also on that show. Yeah. Yep.
Sharon, she can't go to happy hour. She wants a God-fearing mission man. She's not gonna find him at happy hour.
Well, let's tell the truth now. Miss Angela might be at some happy hours.
Listen,
we don't know.
Wow.
Jesus drank wine.
He sure did. He made some, didn't he?
I think
that's
what I heard.
Showed up right on. So how are we helping Miss Angela here?
Exactly.
We did help her. Debrina Jackson Gandy can help her. She needs to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about online dating.
Right? It sounds like some online dating. It sounds like some match.
Sounds like she's trying.
Well, I think what people don't realize, you're not dating online. You're just finding them there. And I think, there's sort of that fear of not knowing, but I think you have a better chance of getting to know people. Because we all get the representative when we first started dating anyway. But it was like in the 80s, you went into bars, clubs, and places and met people you did not know. Again, everybody's a stranger till you meet them. You just have to take the time that weed out, the bad apples.
Church too.
We did have an answer for her, honey. It was run and stretch.
Yes.
Right, run and stretch because she runs. But I think I do want to carry this into next week. So we'll play it again next week. I wanted to give you guys a bit of it so we could spend a whole week to think about it. If there are other people who want to date, send me a video. I really want to do this dating thing next week. I'm all in.
If you've been watching and you saw Miss Angela and you fit the criteria.
It was a list. I hope you got all
of that. And hit up Miss Alma, okay?
That's right. Mm-hmm. That is
Send your
right.
video.
Send your video. Or if you too are looking for a date, you're not married, and you're looking for a date, send us a video. Like, I want to try to
this is a
figure out a
can of
way.
worms. This is a can of worms. Oh my goodness.
I know, but it's so many people. Like, I think it is so unfortunate that there are so many women, beautiful women, who are looking for available men. Where are the available men? They have to be somewhere. Like, every man on the planet or every man in America is not married.
They're in Home Depot.
And running.
And stretching.
Well, you know, the truth is, I was downtown Alexandria. I was on King Street in Alexandria, and I saw at least 4 appeared to be single, you know, working men riding bikes, and you know, like they're just, you know, just riding by themselves. So, you know, you sometimes just got to go sit in the park by the water and wait for them to ride by. Now, I don't suggest that you stick your foot in the spokes, because then that will end that relationship.
Hey,
quickly.
we ain't talking about what you did. We talking about what she should do.
She should be out there stretching while you ride.
Stop. No. But I mean, I've seen lots of what, you know, appears to be normal, attractive men outdoors doing stuff. You just have to get out there. Don't knock on the door. They're out there. You just have to be outside.
So I know I am opening up a can of worms here, but I would like to hear from some single people, because we need to, like, get some people talking, get some people connected. We'll see. We got to figure out what we're going to do about this single people. So, to the Malloys, my niece and nephew, I love you guys. Love you dearly. And kiss Tobias for me. Where is he? So we can say goodbye to him.
He left, didn't he? Did he leave with Grandma?
We don't want. He and Ava will take over this show one day. Thank you guys, and hugs to everybody out in Seattle.
Gail said everybody in Alexandria is your family.
Yeah, I told Gill, if something happens, he's got to move. He can't stay here because whoever he meets will be related to me, and it'll be kind of ugly. So anyway, thank you guys for a fantastic night, a fantastic show. Everybody who's watching, thank you so much. I appreciate you more than you know. Come back and see us next Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Bye.
Good night. Later.
Good night.